Today's episode of the Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway because their slogan is Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of Buicks, GMCs, and GM certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. So when you want a car dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. So before we bring on our special guest, I am so excited to tell you about a new sponsor here to the Mom Game. It is Next Step Recruiting. Next Step Recruiting places direct hire, contract, and contract to hire candidates in various industries, including IT, finance and accounting, human resources, and administrative. They have 3 offices in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Austin, I should say, supporting over 250 small to Fortune 100 companies across the United States. And the reason I love Next Step Recruiting is because I love the people. And at the top of that list is Nikki Koyman, who is a badass mom, year-over-year, multi-million-dollar producer, mom of 3, wife, co-owner, and vice president of the company, all while continuing to be ranked as one, if not the best business development professionals in the IT staffing industry. And she is a super, super nice and fun woman. Love, love, love Nikki Koyman. Also, Next Step Recruiting continues to give back to their local community through volunteering at food banks, sponsoring families at the holidays, and raising nearly, my favorite, $100,000 for the Do It for Durrett Foundation as they hold an annual celebrity charity golf tournament each year. And the Do It for Durrett Foundation is the beneficiary. And that makes me so happy.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love when everything
fantastic.
fits together.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's a mom that's trying to, do a million different things, has a business that is a great fit with our show. And you know her personally and they support the Do It for Durrett Foundation, which is amazing.
Yeah. And they're just really, really good people. You can tell like the family whole aspect of it, the way they treat their employees. They bring their entire staff out to the golf tournament every year and have a great time. So thankful for them and their support. And you can be a part of this organization. They're continuing to grow and expand into new markets. And now is the opportunity to join this dynamic team from any of our listening areas. So much like our other sponsors we talked about, Globe Life Field, they're trying to make it more convenient for you to work. And that really appeals to us.
Helping the recruiting company recruit.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes,
this is next level stuff right here.
They operate on a 100% remote basis and are currently hiring for their recruiting and business development teams. I can tell you, you will love working with this group of human beings. So if this is something that interests you, visit them, NSR, so Next Step Recruiting, USA.com. Okay. NSRUSA.com. So thank you, Next Step Recruiting. We are so thankful you're on board with the Mom Game. Thrilled to have you. It's episode 75 of the Mom Game.
Yeah.
What's that like
It's something substantial.
Centennial? No, that's 100.
Isn't that 100?
Yeah. 75 has got.
Yeah. I mean, it's 3/4 of.
Yeah. Of 100.
So we're 3/4 of the way to 100.
Yes,
which is going to be a big deal. We'll probably have to do something really big when we turn 100.
Yeah.
So to catch up a little bit. You went on vacay. We've got school starting pretty soon. It's a very busy time.
School's already started. What are you talking about?
Yours?
Yes. School has
Your kids
already
are in
started. School's already started,
right.
Remember?
Right, but for people, it's kind of an all-month thing. Like whether you're at a private school or a public school or this district or that district.
Like Dallas went back.
Yeah,
early.
Dallas went back early, and generally, like I feel like all of August is like just back to school.
Back to school.
Because even once they're in school, it's like, okay, now we're adjusting to after-school activities and sports starting up.
It's hashtag too soon, I feel like.
Really? Did you feel like the summer flew by?
I do, and I do welcome the structure of a school year, but I do feel like it flew by. And maybe it's because my kids were so busy with stuff. But I feel like they had a really, really great summer. And we capped it off by getting not 1, but 2 hamsters.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 2. 2 hamsters.
Okay, what's the thought process?
So I do things as a parent that I kind of regret. And one of them was, I kept telling my kids when they were little, they wanted random creatures as pets. And I'm like, you're not old enough. And they're like, well, how old is old enough? I'm like, 8.
Okay.
8 is how old?
To have any sort
To have
of
like
pet?
I mean, they had a fish.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering. We'll get back to where I'm at.
Like a
because
hamster.
This is very applicable.
Yes. So like a hamster or whatever, guinea pig. I don't know. I don't even know what the options are.
Right.
Like, and so Hattie turned 8 this summer. I said, you can have a hamster, gave her a certificate, but she couldn't get it till after vacation.
That's really cute. Like you can be a pet owner now.
Yes.
But did you say you can only have a hamster?
No, she wanted a hamster.
Okay.
So then that's what she gets for her birthday. Then Henry's like, remember when you told me I could get a pet at 8 and then you didn't get me one and now I'm 10?
And he's like, do I get something bigger than a hamster?
So now he's like, game on. I want a hamster too. So we went to the pet store and got 2 effing hamsters.
I think that I need hamsters.
We'll let you know how this goes.
Okay. Let me know.
I'm not so sure about it. We've already, in the first day, Hattie was holding Henry's hamster and the hamster bit her. And you would have thought she was just shot.
We can't get hamsters then.
Yeah. And so she was like, I don't like that one. And I'm like, and then Henry's like, she's so
hamster.
dramatic, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, we've had fish before. So tell me what's happening?
So Anna is just turned 3, Ryder just turned 6, and we've never had a dog for them.
Okay.
And I feel like everybody has a dog. I had a dog, not when I was, no, actually I did, younger. And then I had a dog as like a teenager. And then I just evolved to being a cat person, but it doesn't mean I don't like dogs. Like I would absolutely invite a dog into my life.
Okay.
And now my daughter is obsessed. Like since like
with
puppy
dogs.
was her second word. Yeah. She loves, like this morning I was late to something I had to be at because she was carrying this little puppy around and kept telling me it had boo-boos and it needed Band-Aids. So I kept like digging into my Band-Aids, stashing them. So then it's like, what do I use instead of Band-Aids? Because I'm going to run out of Band-Aids, but she's so cute. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. She loves dogs. We obviously had 2 cats for a long time, Cranberry and Blueberry. Blueberry passed away. We detailed that here on the Mom Game.
Bless your
The
heart.
passing of Blue.
Yes.
So now I have an opening for a pet.
Okay.
In our lives.
Okay.
And in our home and in our hearts. And
I'm so glad you clarified that all of those places have an
It's
opening.
important.
It is important.
your heart has to be ready for
Your
it.
heart, you know what? I shouldn't poke fun at that. You're exactly right.
Yeah, it
Your
sounds
heart does
cheesy.
have to be ready for it.
So
Wait, what were the 3 things you have openings at? Your heart, your home, and your head. What?
Our house and our heart. Was there another?
I thought there was 3, and I thought that's a
Probably
lot.
started with life.
That's a lot of openings.
And then I got
okay.
more. We have an opening for a pet in our life, in our house, and in our heart.
Oh, so cute. It
There's
should be on a throw pillow. Open for business. My life, my heart, my home.
Yeah. Well, all 3 of those things are important.
Oh, okay. No, I agree. Okay, so
To a pet or like a boyfriend or a job. Like you've got to be ready.
Yes.
And we'll get back
have
to
have the
that
space.
later with our guest.
Yes.
But we have an opening for a pet. And I've always had cats. And like I said, dogs, more recently cats. My kids still have a cat. And I think she'd adjust, whatever. She's like late in life, like, whatever. She'll be fine. I'm not worried about her really.
Okay.
But she's not going anywhere for a while. So I do have to think about that.
Okay.
So we're trying to decide between, we were like kind of gung-ho dog. And we were going to wait till Christmas and do like the big
under
thing.
the tree.
But then like every mom I know was like, don't get a dog. Like literally every mom I know. And I'm like, well, if anybody needs.
Why don't get a dog?
Because it's just so much work.
It's
and you can't
it's
travel
not easy.
as well. And
you can leave
all of a
them.
sudden you have these giant vet bills and everything else. So anyway, we changed. I started maybe shifting gears to cat. And then my best friend, who I respect more than anything in the world and knows my life, she was like, don't do it. She was like, I know you, don't do a cat. Maybe a hermit crab. She was like, you could get them a sponge and fill the sponge with water like once a day and the hermit crab is set. Like she's been through what we're just discussing, like the different levels of pets and how much care they need versus how much satisfaction they bring to your kid, right? Like if a hamster would bring my daughter as much satisfaction as a dog because she's only 3 and she doesn't freaking know the difference, then I would do hamster.
Can I just tell you though, how much satisfaction, how much joy a dog
You can sell me in a dog.
I am.
Okay.
I cannot tell you how my kids cry when we leave for vacation because they don't want to leave the dogs. They fight.
But now that sounds like a negative.
To get out of the car.
Too much love.
When we come home
To see the
get
dog.
who can get to the dogs first. They love the dogs. They love snuggling with them. They love because they actually kind of like, especially our little one. So we have two. We have two boxers, Griffey and Izzy. And the little one is especially playful, and like they love them, and they love to take them on walks. And I'm telling you,
And they learn responsibility.
It is. I mean, when we got home from vacation, it was like the first thing was like, okay, here's your list of stuff we have to do, and you have to scoop the poop. Like you have to go outside and scoop the poop. I remember
That's
Henry
another
one time
thing.
was scooping the poop, and he goes, "I bet Adrian Beltre didn't have to scoop poop," and I was like, First of all, where is this coming from?
Right.
So I text Adrian. I'm like, listen to what Henry just said. And so I texted him, and Adrian was like, he's kind of right because I never had a dog. And I was like, I don't need to hear that from you. Like,
Right. Not because you were Adrian Beltre.
Right. I was trying to teach him that you weren't always.
Had he had a dog, Adrian Beltre would have scooped
Adrian
poop.
Beltre. Adrian, you're not. I was trying to tell him that you haven't always been.
Yeah.
This.
He's got to take
Hall
the
of
trash
Fame
out too.
Baseball player, right? That he had to do shit when he was little too. But anyway, so yeah, it teaches them responsibility. I mean, the love of it, but then I will tell you, and I'm sure it was the same way with Blueberry. When they go, it is, but you can't live
you had
your
that not too long.
Oh my gosh, it was a few years ago. And of course, Mike had just left town for like 10 days that day. So I was by myself with the kids. And then you're like, okay, the dog died. And then how do I wake them up? It was like, it was like 9 o'clock at night.
Had you ever held a dead body before?
No. What?
Wake up in bed.
So anyway, it sucks. It's hard, but I will say the joys it brings.
It outweighs.
Far outweighs. It's like you can't live your
Like
life
a child.
expecting like something to die, and then because everything's going to die at some point. Like it's worth it. It's
Put
worth
that
it.
on a throw pillow.
Yes. Get a dog.
Okay.
Get a dog.
Well, I'm back from saying no to saying maybe. So there we have it. But I'm excited. You guys have hamsters. I can't wait to hear about the future of your hamsters here on the Mom Game, how everything's going. But for now, we're going to toss it to Lynette, the life coach, because Emily met her at the pool. The rest is history. She made an impact on us, and I think she'll make an impact on you too.
And now we bring on our very special guest who can help me get my shit together.
You got it.
Lynette Kile, who is a life coach.
We're so excited.
Yes, that's me.
Yes. Okay. So I want to tell a story about how we met. We were at the pool, and we have a mutual friend, and I think I was having a mimosa by myself, and
Lovely.
decided you two were also drinking mimosas.
We were.
And I was like, I should join them.
So you just walked up, but you
so
knew one person.
I did know.
Yeah.
So I'm not drinking alone. And so walked up, and we got to talking, and then I was like, what do you do? And she was like, I'm a life coach for overwhelmed moms. And I was like, ding, ding, ding.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. But it just sounds so. How do you become a life coach?
Yes, okay. There's a process. You have to first want to.
Okay.
It has to be a calling of sorts. But really what led me there was my girlfriends, my overwhelmed mom girlfriends.
And they all come to you.
I'm the person. So you might be those people also
No.
in your friend group.
Mine run in the opposite
No.
direction from me.
They come to me for different things.
They come to me when they just like want to blow off some steam and like have some drinks. I'm not the go-to source for life, but I know people that are. So I know the people
Okay.
that are like what you were like with your friends.
You know those people, and
Yes.
everyone plays a role in a friend group, and so that's the role I was playing. I was the coach, I guess.
Yeah.
Of what to do. Sometimes when your head is spinning and you feel like you can't even think straight, and like
Yeah.
All the time.
you can't even think of all your choices. What are the possibilities? That's where I would be there for my friends to help them be like, all right, this is what you have in front of you. Let's make a good choice here. And so two of my best friends were telling me for a couple years I should be a life coach.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that? I don't even know. And so
Can I ask you what you were doing at that point, work-wise? Like when you had this epiphany?
I was a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were doing a million different things.
I was doing the hard work of staying at home with babies.
Yeah.
Had little bitties.
How old are your kids now?
They are 6 and 9.
Okay.
And I've been a life coach I'm in my third year.
Okay.
Third year now. So if you can think back, 3 and 6 when I dove into this, studied it, leading up to it.
I'm at 3 and 6 right now.
You are?
Yeah. So
you
it's
know that
busy.
life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to school for it. You take hours. You have to do hours of it, just like a college course type thing, and get certified.
So
I'm
what
certified.
what are the what's the coursework like?
Oh, that's a good question. Make me think back a few years. It's really a lot about taking your own opinion out of things.
Oh, that's hard.
Does it go like what? Is it like a psychology type of direction with your coursework, or like what is it called? Like if somebody wanted to go to school and get certified. You know what I
You
mean?
find a life coach academy.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's not through like a different university.
Yeah, there's academies. So I did Beautiful You Coaching Academy.
Okay.
They're based in Australia.
I didn't know about all that.
Yeah.
Really amazing.
Yeah.
So life coaching, what I've noticed just in my few years of doing it is it's super popular in Australia, London, New York, and it's working California also. But those are kind of the places where things start and then they
Yeah.
slowly work their way in.
Yeah.
So-
Like places where it's valued to have a good peace of mind and be relaxed and not overwork and overstress yourself.
Yeah.
And something we don't necessarily value as much here, but maybe we should.
Right. It's getting here. It's working its way.
Yeah. No kidding.
So what kind of give us an example of like how you would handle a client or how you would, just conversations? Is it, how does it work?
Yep.
Okay, so a good example. I won't give super specifics, but say a mom is talking to me and she's telling me about her life. But what I really hear is her beating herself up. She's just making herself filled with mom guilt, like I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing this well enough. My kids are a hot mess. You know, my friend has it better. Like my friend's doing a better job. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Like back it up. Look at what you are doing. Let's focus on the good in your life, how amazing you already are, and grow there. Because comparing ourselves to everybody, I think there's a quote that says comparison is a thief of joy. So,
It's so easy to get caught up in all of that.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're kind of saying like strip all of that away and think about you, prioritize what's important to you and go from there.
Yeah. And do what brings you joy. I think that's my biggest theme that runs throughout everything I do is say no unless it's a hell yes.
Right. Oh, I
Right.
love that.
Oh, say no
Unless it's a hell yes. Okay.
Man.
Well, we've even had the conversation about just getting pulled in so many different directions. Invited to this, invited to that, and this thing's for your kid, and you feel like you have to go, or you're not a good mom if my kid's not doing this. But then I've got work, and then I've got my husband that also needs me. And how do you handle it all? Do you have to give everybody a reason why you were saying?
And that's one thing we talked
what
about,
we've
like
talked
giving,
about.
like instead of just saying no, like you always feel like you have to have a reason for saying no.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to say no because it's not a hell
It's not a
yes.
hell yes. Right.
Yeah.
So how much of it is like you, I think too, like, reassuring people in probably what they're already thinking, but being able to hear it from a third party. How much does that play into it when you're dealing with your clients?
Yeah. So I think that I help people remember what they've learned before. Like if they've had a moment in life where they've really practiced mental health skills,
Right.
You know, I help them bring it back to reframing or whatever it may be. The mental health really gets to all of us for sure. Is it important? But so they may be thinking it, but it's like a blip of like positivity, and then it's like smashed down with all this negativity of thoughts, perfectionism and comparison, and just trying to be everything to everybody. And so I feed them positivity for sure, and really perspective around who they are at the core and what's important to them and doing
love
those
it.
things.
Okay,
that.
so back to kind of how it works. So say you have somebody come to you, let's call her Betty.
Betty.
And Betty
Love
is
Betty.
like super overwhelmed with the things we're talking about: kids, life, job, career. She just needs help. Where do you start and how do you execute your life coaching?
Yeah, good. So, what is so lovely is whenever anyone signs up, like to talk to me, you can book on my website for free, like a free 30-minute talk. And I ask all these questions. And those questions really help you dive into what you're dealing with. So it helps you get clarity in the first place. And so when I talk to someone, I analyze what they've said in this questionnaire. And I'm like, hey, what I'm really, like my coaching skills and being a mom, all of this combined, what I really see here is you need to ditch your inner critic. Like that's where we really need to work, where you're feeling like you need to find a different job or whatever it may be. Sometimes it is just find a different job. I'm like, all right, overall, this is what I'm seeing big time. And so from there, session 1, we set goals. We set 1 or 2 goals. So, you know, you might have 4 or 5 in different areas, but whenever you work with a coach, you really, really narrow it down and tune into your top 2. And then we start taking action steps. And I have worksheets and I have questionnaires.
Oh, there's a plan.
I know,
like the
that's-
OCD
yeah.
is like, oh, this is like,
Right.
yeah. This is
I have this, I have a program called the Mom Life Simplifier. And it's a
need. Need?
it's a need.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
You know, they say find a need and fill it. And so I just developed this program end of last year, and it was really based on a conglomeration of all my moms that I've worked with and what they really needed and worked through. It was like self-care and who you are as a mom, what brings you joy, your happy list. I mean, we work through a lot of stuff, so it definitely has steps to it.
Okay, so the shit show in me wants to know, like, and we had a parenting expert on, and I wanted to be, and she was like super soft spoken and so nice, and she was great and had fantastic advice. And I was like, please tell me that at some point in your life you've completely lost your shit and slammed an iPhone down on the counter and broke it, like I did during quarantine. Whatever. Like,
so called your kid an a-hole. Or
so
whatever.
what have you learned about your called your kid an asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah. To their
I didn't.
to their face. Oh,
You did.
I didn't. I just put it online. It was on the internet. Social media. Come on, they don't see that shit. So what with you, like, what have you learned about yourself? Because I would assume you learned a shit ton about yourself with this, you know, going through this whole process.
I think that's part of what led me to be a life coach is I was doing so much work on myself. And, you know, no offense to my mom, but there was certain things, I think everyone in their parenting, how they were parented, that you want to change. And I think one of the biggest things I wanted to change was to stop yelling. And I grew up with a lot of yelling and even saw it in my sister and her parenting. And I'm like, well, the only way you know how to parent is how you were parented.
Right.
It's not like we get different sets of parents, see what...
Right. You don't go
What
to
you
school
like.
for it. You don't it's not a course in
Right.
college
Yeah,
like
and
everything
it's-
else we learn about.
No,
And
right.
It's not like you pick one off the shelf. I'll take this kind of
Right.
parent.
But
Yeah.
and that's all just like interesting in a way that we don't do any training because it's one of the most important things in your
the
life.
most.
You're
Yeah.
you're raising a child. Like you're molding this person. And if you're a yeller, then they're a yeller. And it just gets passed down. So
Totally.
I feel like there was a huge void for something like this, and maybe people just still don't even know about it.
Yeah, it's so that what that is, I guess now that I've identified, it's changing behavioral patterns that are carried down. And that's deep stuff. Like it's hard work to do, and I haven't done it fully. But what I realized was when I was trying to stop doing it, how freaking hard it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, what can I do with what I have to get myself further down this road, because I keep hitting a wall.
Okay, so what did you do? Because
All
I'm
right.
still, I mean, I don't yell all the time, but like when shit really hits a boiling point, I'm like, I can't, there's nothing else that will get these tiny humans' attention other than me completely losing my ass. Like,
Yes.
they perk up and they're like, oh, she's for real.
Yeah, mom's doing it again.
Which
Let's listen up.
Yeah, right.
We're losing her.
Tell me, we're losing her. So tell me, like, did you figure it out? Like, are we close? Like, what's happening?
Are we close? So first of all, I just want to say I do still yell.
Yeah, okay.
Because when you need them to when you're like, nothing else gets the attention
Yeah.
than the raising the voice. It was really the more about like getting out the door every day,
It's the hardest.
yelling.
Yeah.
The hardest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I
Time to go. Yeah.
And you're on a timeline.
I
Like
know.
you've got to get them to school or the school gets mad at you.
Yes. So I was trying
you're
to
late.
get them to school without getting mad at them and then me getting mad at myself for the yelling, right? Because I would feel bad every time I did it. And that's some guilt. So it was just this cycle that I would be irritated because I'm beating myself up all day because I didn't control
And
myself.
you just get in your own head. Yeah.
Yes. So some of the things, I'm a yogi. I'm a yoga instructor. Yoga was
nice.
one of my, it goes well together.
Yes.
Yoga and life coaching.
Yeah.
And so breathing was one of my big things. So when I feel like that whelm of like, I'm so raging mad, I would stop and be like,
Just a deep inhale and exhale.
and now my kids see that as like, oh, mom's about to blow.
Like the dragon's about to explode.
Yes.
Bingo. That's the total opposite. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, I can't wait to try the deep breath.
What if they just make fun of us?
That I don't care. Well, then I'm going to do deep breath, and then I'm going to lose my S, and then they're going to realize that the deep breath
That's like
comes
that's their
before
warning.
it's your warning.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can't
the
wait
warning
to
track.
use the deep breath.
Yes.
With the psycho crazy eyes that I can do.
yes.
Like, okay.
Flare your
okay,
nostrils,
all right,
too.
Tell me
Flare
more.
your nostrils.
And
That'll
flare my
scare
nos-
them.
of
You know, go
course.
like this, even like bring your hands together and close your eyes. Like you're really, really
Then
trying
they're going to think.
really trying to keep
They're
it.
gonna be like, what the f- is coming?
Mom is exiting our atmosphere.
Okay, but I'm
She's
telling
going
you,
to
this
her
could
other
really
planet.
work. Okay, what else?
It could work. It could work. Okay, especially for like 3 and 6 year old age. Another thing that I do when I feel like I'm about to lose it, kind of that head spinny time.
Yeah.
When you're like, there is too much going on. Everyone needs me right now. I'm
Yeah.
just going to go lay in my room, like on the floor, not in your bed. And sometimes I'll do this in my kids' room when they're getting ready for
Shavasana?
bed. Savasana.
Which
one's that?
It's the final resting pose in yoga.
Shavasana?
I said it wrong.
Yeah, you said it. No. You said it
what
right.
is it?
Savasana.
Oh,
Savasana.
no, I didn't because I said Shavasana.
Shavasana is correct also.
Okay.
It's fine.
You're close enough. Okay.
I never really knew what it was or like how to say it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically what you do.
Same. It's the same. Yeah.
Okay,
so you
what-
go
That's like laying flat.
lay flat. Close
Okay.
your eyes. Let your arms come down to your side. Let your feet come apart a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I
just
love it.
melt into the floor. And you're like, I don't care what else is happening right now. I'm just going to be right here.
I'm just going to have a moment. I love at the end of a yoga class, they're like, lay there for 30 seconds,
you're like,
5 minutes, 10, 15 if you can. I'm like,
Yes.
does anyone lay in Shavasana for 15 minutes?
If they're asleep.
And if they do, like, I'm jealous.
I love that. I really am because that's something I really want to work on. Is the whole in the complete meltdown from me, the grown up. I'm the mom. I'm supposed to be the one that's keeping the ship together.
I
like,
know.
and it's like and I want to have a different and it's like it's not like I haven't told you 10 times in a very calm manner.
I know.
It's not like I'm just yelling for fun or it's the first thing I try. It's like number 20 on my list of things I've tried to get you to do what I've asked you to do.
Yes.
And it makes you crazy.
And you forget that they're like 5 or 6 or 7 and their brains are just different than ours.
I don't know. My kids are 8 and 10. They're old enough to handle this. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
No, they're close.
but
It's different.
It's totally different.
Because mine's like
I mean,
the
I think
6-year-old,
I'm probably
like,
not going to do the lay on the floor thing with 8 and 10.
Try it.
I mean, maybe I will. But
Think
I
they'll
mean,
make
the
fun
whole
you think
deep
they'll put you on
breath-
TikTok like
And then-
laying on the
Oh,
floor?
Mom's
You're
dead.
my idiot mom.
Mom's dead. But I think the whole deep breath with the psycho eyes, and then for this, like I think that could do some serious.
I think it would.
Yeah.
Knowing you, like that
I
would scare
cannot-
me if you did that, and then we were in the middle of a conversation. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, you do.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
gonna blow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'm totally into it. I'm actually so excited about it.
Yeah. So how has
Couple
this
things.
all been received? So I imagine you probably could start with like a pretty legit client base just in the friends that were asking
Right.
you for advice. But how has it kind of evolved as far as a business?
Yes. So I have one-on-one coaching clients that we are straight on the phone. I don't
Okay.
even FaceTime or Skype. I've done that with my own coaches before. So that's how I meet with people one-on-one. And what I
On the
love
phone.
about that, on the phone, headphones in, is that I consider myself intuitive. Like I have very strong intuition. I guess what has also led me here. Like it feels right. It feels right. I'm keep doing it. And just whenever I don't have my eyes on somebody, I can really feel more and like hear what they're not saying a little more. So the one-on-one coaching, that's how that goes down. What I also do is workshops. So yoga studios, businesses. Just, I guess in May, I did a vision board workshop for a manufacturing company, Honey and Hives.
Oh, yeah.
Hives and Honey. I think that's actually correct. Nearby. It's just, I feel like we're really close to it wherever I was. And so their team of 12 did vision boards for the kind of life they want to live. And I led them through the
and
visualizing.
This was like put on by the company.
Yes, company paid for it.
Valuing their mental health and their sanity because they realize that a happy worker is a better worker.
Yes.
Something like that.
Team building too.
Yeah.
So, and then I did it for a girls trip. I actually did it and I was on vacation. I just got back Sunday. I think you were out too recently.
Yep.
And, but I had one of the ladies from that manufacturing workshop. She's like, I really want to do this for my girlfriends in Sedona. She bought it for them. Paid for it all, bought the boards. And so I was like, well, I'll do a virtual workshop for you guys.
Oh, you didn't go.
Your girls trip.
Oh, that's so fun.
No, it's not my friends.
I thought you like went on the girls. They like invited you. They're like,
been awkward.
It's like how you pay for your nanny when you really just need help with your kids. Like I'll buy your plane ticket.
Free place to stay. That's awesome. That's really cool.
That's like a untapped market kind of thing. 'Cause my girlfriends and I went to University of Missouri, so they don't live here. So the only way we see each other is for girls' trips. We went on one, and it was like we had a chef come in and cook. We had yoga. We didn't really leave the house. It was like, let's all just get away from life. That was the missing piece, was like having something like that. So I love what you're doing with all of that. So as far as communication, I feel like, how do people communicate with you? Because I feel like if you were my life coach, it'd be hard not to cross that boundary, and I'd be texting you every second of the day.
So true.
Like, what do I do? My kid's freaking out, or all of a sudden we were invited to 4 activities and I don't know what to do. Like, how do you handle that?
Yeah, good question. So I'll chat with people for an hour every 2 weeks. That's our sessions. Not like a therapist where you might be once a week, you know? So once every 2 weeks, chat for an hour, and then it's unlimited email.
Okay.
So I think that email allows you time to think about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's not an emergency text and things like that.
That's smart too, because you're putting it down, you're writing down your thoughts. And that I feel like that takes more thought and all, it's harder to write than it is to talk.
Unless sometimes you think about something and you totally forget about it.
Right.
Like it's good to send out that email and then get a reply.
Well, and then you have your boundaries too, to where it's not like you don't feel like, the therapist on call.
Yeah, right. So I get to the email in my business hours, really. And also I have to be an example to these moms of setting boundaries, holding your boundaries. And so one thing I did whenever I was on vacation, I was out for 2 weeks. I put an away message. I haven't done that because...
Never done that.
Right.
Never done that.
So many people never do that. But I was like, you know what? I need to do this. I need to let people know, like, I'll be back to your email, but I'm being present with my husband and kids for these dates until this date. I'll be back. It just won't be as responsive.
Emily wants to give me an away message.
I know. Shut up. No, but it's just, okay, so, but how do I, the question for you, so same thing, like I feel like I probably could do a better job of being more present and not so connected. But then the thought, like my level of OCD to think about the emails that are piling up and the messages that are going unresponded to literally makes me want to hyperventilate. So is there a healthy balance in there for someone who's crazy like me to not, I can't turn it off. I couldn't turn it off for 2 weeks. Like I just can't even imagine that.
Right. So what's built up.
What would you suggest that I do to manage this?
You can bill her after this.
All this.
Well, I think what we have all done in our life, however it has played out, we've, what's the word? I want to say trained other people of how we respond.
God, that's so true.
Yeah. People are like, where is she? Like, she's usually like on it within 24 hours. If it's not 24 hours, it's like, ridiculous, right?
Seriously.
Something's wrong.
That's so true. Because I know I'll text somebody and I'll be like, I know they're on their phone. They're always
Who
on their
isn't
phone.
on their phone?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And why are they texting me back? But yeah, it's because you become accustomed to how people respond to you. And then that's so true.
Yeah.
I got to change that.
Well, I don't know if you can change it
I
once
don't know
it's
if I can
established.
change it. I know.
You start easing
Maybe
back.
every person you meet from now on, you could change it
Every
because
new
you're
person.
because you're starting with a clean slate at that point.
But maybe I can ease it back.
Yeah. How has it? So you started this, you said 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Has it like really ramped up because of the pandemic and people, I feel like just being in their thoughts and heads a lot more about everything. And then obviously all the stressors that come with COVID and worrying about your family.
Right. Oh my gosh. I feel like people are struggling with more now than before, especially moms being cooped up with their kids and having husband and like having to keep kids quiet. I think that's a big new thing is like moms with littles, keeping kids quiet for phone calls and things like that. So I wouldn't say it's ramped up because it's adding another thing of like having to keep your kids quiet and occupied for an hour, but definitely helping people through struggles of this.
Yeah.
So they have this workshop that I'll host at yoga studios, or that's pretty much where I've hosted it, but it's open to anything, is 5 mom habits to reduce the chaos and increase the peace. And it's
You have this
really
workshop?
I have this workshop.
Just need.
You need.
And so that's where I help.
She's got everything.
I know. All the tools. All the tools.
I've been doing it. I mean, I've been a mom for a while, been an overwhelmed mom for so long, and try to keep myself from getting there. So I have some tools,
love
toolbox.
I love it. Okay, so how can people reach out to you, contact you, ask you how to get their shit in order? Tell us how.
Yeah.
My website, you can reach out to me. You can schedule free consultation, 30-minute, 45-minute consultation, lifewithlynette.com, Lynette with 2 N's.
And 2 T's.
2 T's.
Okay.
And lifecoach.lynette on Instagram. And then Facebook page, Life with Lynette.
Awesome.
So,
Good
I
for
love it.
you.
Yes.
I love it. That's something that I think so many people need. So props to you for like figuring out that it might be something you need, your friends need, and making it happen.
Yeah, love
That's
it.
awesome.
Thank
I'm
you so
going
much
to-
for being with us.
I'm
You
gonna
didn't
be
even really
reaching
drink
out.
any
I
wine.
know. Drink a little
I
wine.
know. We all need all the things. Okay, cheers, Lynette.
Cheers, Lynette. We've been coached.
We have been coached. I mean, kind of. I still probably need a lot of work. Okay, so we end every show by flashing the peace sign, which is super mature, and say "Mom, game out." You can do 1 or 2 hands.
I do too.
To you, 2, it's whatever. Ready, set, go.
Mom, game out.
out.